Hey, it's Kyle Meredith, and welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith With, an ongoing interview series presented by 91.9 WFPK, Independent Louisville, and Consequence of Sound. Today, my guest is Adam from Cut Connie, who are just about to release their newest record, Dirty Pictures Volume 2. We get to talk about them recording at Ardent Studios, especially on Chris Bell of Big Star's guitar. And also, one of their very famous fans, Mr. Elton John, who gave Adam a call one day to interview him. Check it out. It's Kyle Meredith with Cut Connie.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm up in the mountains of Colorado somewhere. It is very beautiful here, and I know what John Denver was talking about now.
I also like that you just say somewhere, like maybe you were just randomly, blindfolded, taken out to the mountains of Colorado and said, here's your new life. Enjoy.
No, it is like that. I don't know where I am.
Let's talk about Dirty Pictures Volume 2. Anyway, Volume 2. Is there a difference between these two? Is it story-wise, musically? Is there a reason why these batch of songs ended up, on the record that it did?
Well, first of all, people have short attention spans in 2018, including me. And I love those little punchy 30, 35-minute records. And we recorded just so much at Ardent that it was really clear that it was two different albums. And it was very easy to batch them together because this second record, which we did slightly later, just felt like a little more emotional, a little more cathartic, where the first one was kind of this tense, grungy build-up. The first one is a little bit, as I say, digging in the dirt, and then the second one is kind of digging out of the dirt.
Especially, recording at Ardent Studios, that's a little bit of pressure on you because that begs to do something classic right there, right?
Yeah, James, our guitar player, played Chris Bell's guitar on a lot of the album from Big Star.
Yeah, wow.
And Beverly, our new single, I played the Mellotron that was used on Big Star 3rd, which was one of my favorite albums. And we were recording in the ZZ Top room, is what they call it, which was built. The first thing they did there was ZZ Top's second or third album. And Jody Stevens sang little hoots and holler backup on one of the songs. And yeah, it's a magical place.
Man, to play on those, just because you do get the soul of an instrument that kind of lives around for its entire lifetime. It's been that stuff. Like, I know that guitar. I know Chris Bell's guitar sound because Jody's played on it recently on his stuff, and you can hear it. It's so instantly recognizable.
Yeah, yes, I agree. It was really cool. And so to sort of commemorate, we did Alex Chilton cover the song Hey Little Child from his Like Flies on Sherbert album, which was also done at Ardent, and did it there in that room where he had done that, and turned out pretty cool.
I can't wait to hear that one. I know is that sort of the cover as in like you did Controversy on Volume 1? Yes,
there's one cover on each. And Alex Chilton and Big Star, his writing was very influential on me, and just his sort of oddball way, rock and roll spirit. So it was very cool to do something, and Ardent folks were thrilled about it and gave us the license, so that was easy.
Now, what I do read about this one, talking about the writing and everything, is this seems to be more character-driven for you.
Yes, yeah. 100%. When we first started doing Cut Connie, it was like we got tagged with this party band thing. And the very first review we ever had, which was Robert Christgau, he called one of our songs a sleazeball anthem. And then after that, every single review that came out for the next 4 years had sleazeball, scuzzball, scuzzbucket, sleazebucket, variations of that sort of like theme. And I certainly didn't shy away from us being a red-blooded party rock and roll band, but, I guess as I age and travel more and more with the band, we do like 100 days a year on the road or more. I've just met so many people from every walk of life in this country, and the people I meet just sort of slip into my songwriting. And I was particularly interested in just some of the people that don't get a light shown on them by a lot in the media or in entertainment anymore. The people that I was writing about in Boozophilia on our second album, this sort of dive bar circuit, I went a little bit even further out onto the edge of American life, and had a number of songs that I wrote for both records about women. Angela, Beverly. Oh, there's a new song we're going to put out soon called Oh, Suzanne. And I'm just always interested to see how people live, and I'm particularly interested in how women live in America these days in different walks of life.
When I think about these albums, these type of albums, to create a town, like what would this town be like? What would this album's town be like?
My favorite albums are, or even just individual songs, are those where it kind of has like a world to it. You just feel this sense that you are somewhere else, and it's sort of a three-dimensional place.
Well, you've mentioned Beverly, and it is the lead single. What's the story with that one? It's such a great song.
It's sort of like a combination of a couple people that I've known over the years, but I'm focusing on when we travel, we stay in like 2-star, 1-star, 2.5-star motels. And when you stay in these kind of places 100+ nights a year, you meet some very interesting people. And one thing people don't think about is that there's people all over America who live at those motels and that are sort of transient or just sort of stuck in between. They don't have a place. They're not homeless, but they don't have a home. And I meet a lot of those people at these motels and in the Waffle Houses we go to in the morning. And Beverly sort of combined a couple people I knew, these women that sort of just live out on the edge in isolation on the road and do what they have to do to get by in life and somehow maintain a resilient spirit despite great adversity. It's funny, though, because this is not the type of song that Cut Connie fans from 5 years ago would have expected, and we're just going into different territory. We may have lost a few people that just wanted to keep it very garage rocky, but I think we're picking up a lot more people. And one thing that's very cool as we travel is the demographics at our shows is really expanding, and we've got people from all walks of life that are now showing up to our gigs, men and women, young and old, black and white, gay, straight, and it's a very interesting mix of people.
No, dude, you got to grow. You have to grow or you die, right?
Yes, I agree. If a shark stops swimming, it dies, right?
Yeah. I know one of those fans I wanted to bring up, Elton John. I'm now riding the coattails of Elton John as being someone who's interviewed you after Elton John has interviewed you. What's it? I mean, I know that's got to feel great, but what's that like getting a call from someone like that, specifically that guy? Because as a fella on the piano, you've got so much of the same foundation behind you.
Yeah, it was amazing, but I don't want to sound pompous. It was not surprising. I always felt like I would connect with Elton because I grew up with his music, as probably we all did. But as a piano, another kind of like funny-looking, outrageous piano guy, I just always felt this connection. And I don't know how he found our music, but he did, and it just seemed right. And he's played us a number of times and said some fabulous things about us on his show. And so I wrote him a thank you letter, and he called me and interviewed me, and it was just amazing. And then he sent me 2 VIP tickets to his show. So I went out to Vegas and saw his show and met some of his band members and crew, and it was just outrageously great.
These little moments, that we're privy to when the stars are shining on us in this business.
But what, like in 2018, where the entertainment business has changed so much, to sit there and connect with somebody who just sits at the piano, just sings and plays piano, and somehow turned that into, 50 or more all-time hits and an unbelievable legacy. It's very inspiring to somebody like myself.
I look at, the stuff that you are known for so far, beyond the stuff that you've talked about, earlier in this interview, but with that reputation that says, he's crazy. It's crazy. It's a crazy show. It's a high octane show. Does that start to weigh on you at any point? Like you've got to live up to that sort of thing? Because I sort of see that parallel with Elton too in his early days. When the bitch was back.
Yeah, he had this outrageous live show. Yeah. Does it weigh on me? No. It just I like the bar set high. Otherwise, it's boring. Our reputation precedes us. People come to see us, and they say, all right, we hear about this little cult band, Cut Connie, and supposedly their show is going to, be so explosive and touch me and reach me. And people kind of show up with some skepticism, and then it's really fun to win people over. And once we got them for life. I don't let people go.
I know, to be a rock and roll band in 2018, it's almost like you have to be something extra special, It's...
Yeah, I mean, I did this thing at South by Southwest last week, this panel about, artists that run their own labels and DIY stuff. And everybody was, asking questions about, okay, well, how much money should I spend on publicity, and what should I do with distribution and all this? And I said, you know what? At the end of the day, there's really only one tried and true thing, which is you have to be great, and you have to be so great that people can't ignore you, right? And you have to do that every night, and you have to do that with every record. And if you do that, it will take a very long time, but hopefully the cream will rise to the top, as they say. And we don't have an outside label or management or any of this, so we're a little mom and pop shop, and that's what we do. Is it's the only way we can grow is to just try and be great and get better and better.
It's a great mantra, man, and it proves itself time and time again.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll close up here. I saw something that you'd been writing with Dean Ween as well. Is that right?
Absolutely. I've got. He just put out his second solo album, and we had two songs we wrote together on his last album, which was just called the Diener album, and then the new one is called Rock 2. I've got one on there, and I don't know what you know about him and Ween and stuff, but man, he's quite a character, but he's really a brilliant musician. And what I do with Mickey, is his real name, is I try and write about what I think is going on in his life. So the new song is called Don't Let the Moon Catch You Crying, which is one of the singles off of his new album, Rock 2, which is very much all about his relationship with Aaron, the other guy in Ween, and all the trials and tribulations they've been through. And we love working together. We're both kind of crazy guys, and it turns into some cool songs.
I can't wait to hear it, man. In the meantime, I can't wait to hear all of this. Dirty Pictures Volume 2. It's off to a good start, so keep them coming.
Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate you so much, and we love Louisville, and I'm sure we'll be back there very soon.
Can't wait, man. Take care, Adam. Thanks for talking.
All right, brother. Take care. Bye-bye.
Right, bye. Thanks to Adam from Cut Connie for giving me the call. Dirty Pictures Volume 2 is the newest record. Don't forget to subscribe to Consequence of Sound's YouTube channel to keep up with your favorite artists and interviews, and head over to WFPK.org. It's one of the greatest radio stations in the world. I'm Kyle Meredith, and I'll see you next time.